What's up, roofing contractors? Michael Mignona here, and in this video I want to talk about some of the calls to action or value propositions that roofing contractors and really the marketers that they've hired use in ads on Facebook and Instagram and even on Google and TikTok and other platforms and YouTube that really don't work at all for getting leads. And I'm going to talk about what those are, why they don't work, and I'm also going to touch on what does work and kind of dig into that a little bit. So this is a really high value video. It will teach you some things to look out for. It'll teach you some things to, if you've had ads presented to you for approval by a marketing company, or if you're trying to come up with them on your own, these are things that should essentially disqualify them as being good ads immediately. And also, it'll help you with regard to figuring out what should be said in those ads as the unique value proposition, as that piece of value that you're offering to homeowners so that they want to fill out the form that you're asking them to fill out, or the questionnaire, or make the phone call, or whatever you're asking them to do. You want them to want to do that. So how do you make that happen? What should you avoid saying, and what should you say? Let's just get right into it. So one of the things I see all the time, because I'm a roofing marketer, so I help roofing companies market their businesses online and get amazing, high quality, exclusive leads. I see roofing ads all the time. Now, I'm also a homeowner, and so I probably would see roofing ads all the time because Facebook and Instagram is rife with roofing ads because it works so well on that platform. That's one indication that Facebook and Instagram is such a great platform for advertising for roofing, is that you see ads all the time. You wouldn't see them if it wasn't working. People would stop doing it. So that's beside the point. But I get to see tons of ads all the time, and so many of them are the same and really bad, because what they are presenting as the value is just not valuable. And the first one, and the most obvious one, is free estimate or free inspection. If offering a free estimate or free inspection is the only thing that is the big, ooh, this is what I'm offering moment in your ad, it's just not going to be effective. First of all, I don't think anybody charges for inspections or estimates for residential homes. If they do, they're probably not getting many people to opt into that. So offering a free one, which is what everyone does, as if it's this big deal, is just not that exciting for people. And you want your ads to be really exciting, really sexy. You want them to make homeowners feel like, oh my gosh, I have to get this now. I have to talk to these people now, or at least let them know I want to talk to them because I don't want to miss this opportunity. An opportunity for a free estimate, who cares? There are going to be a million others just like it a few scrolls down. So free estimate, free inspection, not exciting at all. You need something better than that. Another thing I see very often is essentially just a complete lie. And it uses a little bit of misdirection, but I'll just explain what it is, and I'm sure you've seen it as well. If you've run Facebook ads, maybe you've had this done for you by a marketing company that uses this strategy, and it just isn't a good strategy. And that is, let's see if you qualify for this new roofing program or something, or even in some places, let's see if you qualify for this government program, or fill out this information to see if you qualify for this new roofing system. Like, anyone that wants to pay for that roofing system is going to qualify. Okay, that's number one. It's really just, this is geared toward people who think that qualifying means they're going to get a roof for less money than other people might, or for free even. And it's just complete, like, no educated person with money is going to be like, ooh, I wonder if I qualify to get this roof, as if they're on a game show or something. It's just not, that's not how people, that's the psychology behind that is you're essentially creating an ad and getting as many leads as you can of people that are just completely not all there, okay? And they're not going to be your best clients, trust me. that brings me to the next example of ads whose value proposition is just complete BS and never really works to your benefit at all. And that is, let's see if we can get you a free roof. Now, certainly, if you're doing insurance restoration and you're helping people file claims with their insurance company, you could get their roof paid for by their insurance company, and all they'll have to pay is their deductible. But if you never mention that they're going to have to pay their deductible in the ad, and it's not very clear that that's that is money they're going to have to come out of pocket for, then you are getting people who think they've just won some like radio game show and that they're going to get a free roof or something. I mean, it's the same kind of people who, not to say that it's bad to win front row seats at a Garth Brooks concert or anything, but like, this is not, that's the psychology behind it, is like, oh, let's see if I can, get you free tickets to this concert. You might win if you fill out this information. No, let's see if you can get a free roof if you fill out this information, like almost like it's a drawing for who can win a roof or something, or something just completely not that at all. And so again, the people who do opt into that ad, while you might get that lead, you're going to have to like completely explain away their initial premise for having submitted that form or that questionnaire and re-educate them. And oftentimes in that re-education process, they're completely turned off because they came in under false pretense in the first place. So you're just not going to benefit from that at all. This is tangentially related to what we're talking about, but I want to touch on it while we're on this topic of insurance restoration as, a way, or I should say the way people present insurance restoration as get a free roof, why that's bad. But I also want to talk about why you might not want to mention insurance restoration at all in your ad anyway. So let's talk about that for a minute, and then we'll kind of work our way back to what not to say in terms of value propositions and what to say. So I think mentioning insurance restoration is okay sometimes, and it's fine to test it out. It really depends on how you say it. But oftentimes it's a turnoff to the homeowner. And the reason is because when you mention a homeowner's insurance or filing a claim with your insurance company, that's a process that, number one, people don't even want to partake in because it's just such a headache, or at least they think it is. Number two, they think it's going to raise their rates. And as we know, acts of God, like storms that damage your roof and things like that, don't necessarily raise your rates, but they don't know that. Their cousin or uncle told them that all these storm damage guys that are coming around town right now are fly-by-night companies. That may be true in some cases, but essentially the takeaway for them is that all of it is a scam. So they read this ad that you've taken so much time to create, and it mentions insurance restoration or filing a claim with your insurance company, and they're immediately turned off, and they don't submit the form because they think you're one of those scammy, untrustworthy people that they've been warned about. So that's number one. That's one reason not to do that. And number two, people don't wake up in the morning, no matter how bad the storm was, thinking they need an entirely new roof. Okay? Their initial thought, where they are in their heads initially, is usually, my roof is maybe damaged. I want to get it fixed. I want a repair. I don't want to rip my whole roof off and get new decking and have someone upend my life like that. I want it fixed really quickly and out. That's it. So if you are advertising that you want to tear someone's whole roof off, before you do that, you want to get on the phone with their insurance company and file a claim and blah, blah, blah. They're like, hell no, I don't want to do that at all. I need someone who's going to come out here, tell me what's wrong with my roof. If hopefully it's able to be repaired, they can repair it and then be done with it. Okay, that's what I want. So you need to start the conversation in your advertising there. Okay, you need to, in whatever you say in your ad, whatever you're communicating to the homeowner should make them think, this is a person that I can trust to look at my roof, tell me exactly what's wrong with it, and then prescribe the least invasive solution to my problem. I don't want them to either replace my roof or not talk to me. I want to know exactly what's going on, and I want that fixed. And if a replacement is necessary, then that's fine, but I don't want someone to come out here who only does replacements. So your messaging has to suggest that you are someone that is going to help them fix their problem, and you have all of the solutions at the ready for whatever their problem calls for. So anyway, back to what sort of value or headlines or calls to action and value propositions in your ads completely turn people off, and what you should do instead. Let's think. So what other things do people say in their ads that is a complete turnoff to people? I think those are the big three. It was free estimate or free inspection, not sexy at all. It was see if you qualify for this program, this special program, this game show program, this BS. And number three, it was see if you can get a free roof. Those three things are like the three big value propositions that people put forward to homeowners to basically trick them into submitting a form. I should say the last two are to trick them. The first one is just not going to work. It doesn't trick them. It doesn't get them excited to do anything. So let's move on to what you should do in order to get leads using Facebook and Instagram. And I want to start with, again, the psychology behind that the homeowner is experiencing, or I should say what they're thinking, and what gets them excited about filling out the questionnaire to send in to you. So I mentioned this, I think, in the last video that I posted. So check that out too. I'm going to elaborate on it a bit here. But essentially what you want to communicate in your ads are two things that really resonate with people who are truly concerned about the things that matter. And those two things are, these homeowners want a roof that's going to protect their home, like truly protect it. So they want the job done right. And number two, they want a fair price to get the job done right. If you poll 1,000 homeowners, if you poll 1 million homeowners, and you say to them, if you were to get a new roof, what would be the most important thing about that project? And they would say, it needs to protect my house. Okay. Now, if they said, I need to be able to afford it, well, then your follow-up question would be, okay, well, can we at least agree that you need to be able to afford a roof that would protect your house? And there's no point in spending $5,000 less for a roof that would not protect your house. They would say, absolutely, it has to protect my house. That's what a roof does. So it needs to protect their house. And they need to know that the company that they hire is going to install the roof properly so that it protects their house. And number two, they need to know that what they're paying for that is a fair price for that work. Okay? Those two things. So you need to communicate that you are a company who does really good work and installs roofs that protect homes. And number two, you offer fair prices. Those two things. If you can communicate that to the homeowner, you are 80% of the way there. Now, how do you communicate that? How do you tell them that? And this is where things get not tricky, but where some really important marketing strategy comes into play. And that is, you have to get them to start reading the sales copy that you compose that ultimately teaches them or suggests to them or implies to them that you are a company that does great work and charges fair prices. So how do you get them reading that content? Now, you can make a video, but videos, they're distributed differently. They don't show up in all the different placements on Facebook and Instagram. And also, they're not very easy to make. I mean, you can shoot a selfie video, but if you're not used to doing videos like I am, you're probably not going to be very good on video. I'm not saying not to do it. You should practice and try it, but you should also be able to do this without any video whatsoever, only single images and sales copy that is written really well. So how do you do that? Well, the first thing you need to do is you need to get people to start reading the sales copy. And how do you do that? Well, so let's talk about that for a minute. It all starts with a deep understanding of how people use Facebook and Instagram, how they're actually using the platform, okay? So imagine a homeowner scrolling through on their phone, Facebook or Instagram. What are they doing? They're scrolling through like this with their thumb, okay? They're looking at posts of their friends. They're looking at posts of their family, pictures, whatever. They're reading articles about politics, you name it. They're arguing, they're doing all the stuff. Every few posts, they see an ad. Now, as they're scrolling through, and we've been doing this for many years now. I mean, social media's been around for over a decade, 2 decades at this point, probably, right? So people have learned, whether they realize it or not, they've learned to be able to identify an ad, and therefore, if they should look at it or not, and they're very efficient at, if you're scrolling through your newsfeed, try to take note of how you act. You're scrolling through, you're looking at a post, but you can sort of, in your periphery, I don't know if it's actually your periphery, if it's below the post you're looking at, but in your field of vision, you can sort of see the post below the one you're actually looking at, even if it's just subconscious. So you kind of know what it is before you even get to it. So the first thing we need to do is we need to create advertising that doesn't scream, I'm an ad, skip past me, right? So this is a huge mistake people make. They make their ads look like ads, and they make them look like such corny ads that people are just like, this is spam, this is junk mail, this is an ad, this is a junky commercial, I'm skipping right past it. So the first order of business is to create an ad that people don't just skip past immediately. So there's certain ways of making the image look like an image people are going to want to stop on at least for as long as it takes to take the next action. The next action is looking at the headline associated with that piece of ad creative. And if you're running ads on Facebook or Instagram, that headline usually appears below the image in bold print if you're on Facebook, and in the description part if you're on Instagram, depending on how you formulate the ad. Anyway, that headline needs to say something that communicates to the homeowner something that is very interesting to them. And what I've learned works best in that regard for roofing is something that suggests to the homeowner that you're a company that offers really awesome prices for a roof replacement. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be the cheapest guy in town. In fact, most of my clients, or almost all of my clients, are either middle of the road or higher end pricing. I only have a few clients that think they are probably like the best price in town, and they don't do any better than anyone else. So you need to suggest that the person is going to get an amazing deal on their roof with your company, because that's exciting to people, okay? And it needs to also be true. So there are ways to say it that is true, but doesn't bind you to any sort of pricing that is going to kill your margins or anything like that, okay? So there are ways to write that headline that really gets people's attention, and that's what you want. That's the next step. Get their attention enough so that they need or feel compelled to go up into the description or the primary text area, which is where the long sales copy is written. And that's where a lot of the magic happens. If you can get them reading the sales copy, and if your sales copy is written in a way that nurtures them and kind of massages them into being obsessed about price and then becoming obsessed about quality, you're going to win. Because if you can adjust their obsession from price to quality and suggest and imply within your ad copy that you are the one that's going to produce and install the roof that actually is going to protect their home, and also that you do it by pricing things fairly. You're not the lowest, you're not the highest, but you're fair. They are going to be emotionally attached to your company at that point. And at that point, the next action they take is to click, because you're going to tell them, if that's interesting to you, click, and then they're going to click and they're going to go to your landing page. Now, your landing page should suggest to them that if they answer the questions or if they fill out the form that they are filling out, that they're going to get something in return. Now, what I recommend telling them they're going to get in return is they are going to get a free fast quote. At that point, they want a free fast quote. Not just a free quote, but a fast quote. A free quote is really boring at the ad level, okay? But if you can get them to read all your sales copy and then they really want that from your company, offering it to them is exactly what they want at that point, okay? It also depends when you're saying free quote. If that's in your ad, it's too early. If you've already dated them a bit by getting them to read through the sales copy and now they're like, ooh, I actually do. I wonder how to get a quote. Click, there it is. Fill out this information, you're going to get a free quote. But not only is it free, but it's fast. And that's what people want, fast. They want instant. So when they fill out that stuff, they should be under the impression that they are going to get a price to get their roof done really quickly by your company. Now, some of them might think it's going to generate a quote online, and that's fine if they think that. But the bottom line is after they submit that form or that questionnaire, when they land on the thank you page, it's going to say, or it should say, we've gotten your request for a free fast quote. We're going to be contacting you with that information in the next 5 minutes if it's during normal business hours, and you should stick to that. Well, now they're going to pick up the phone. They're interested. They are in the checkout line with you, okay? They are ready to buy, or they're at least ready to hear what you've got to say. So now you're right where you need to be. They believe that you're a company that offers fair prices, and they believe you're a company who does amazing work. And now your job is to call them up and schedule the appointment. And when you meet them, it is to exude this kindness and helpfulness that you implied in the ad, so that when they meet you, they think to themselves, I'm really happy I met this person. I'm really happy they're calling me. I'm really happy to meet them. They really do seem like a company that I can trust. And really, that's my biggest concern, is making a mistake and hiring the wrong roofing company. And then they put on a junky roof. It leaks next year when it rains, or it leaks later in the season. And I spent all this money, and now I can't even contact them. And I should have talked to more people, and this is the worst. If you do it right, the ad can get them really close to the finish line. And then the phone call to schedule the appointment and the appointment itself gets them over the finish line, if your messaging is right at the ad level. So this is the importance of messaging at the ad level. And this is the importance of having it done properly, so that you're not just completely spinning your wheels, wasting your time, and worse, making a horrible impression at the ad level, which is the first time people see you in a lot of cases. Their introduction to your company should not be, oh, this is a company trying to scam me into getting a free roof or telling me all this BS. So anyway, this is a long video. It's like 20 some minutes long already, but I hope every bit of it was valuable to you. If you like these videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel if that's where you're watching this. If you're listening to it as a podcast, please subscribe on Apple or wherever your favorite places are to listen to podcasts. I'm there. If you're watching this on Facebook, like it, share it, follow the page, like the page, all that stuff. And as always, if you want to speak to me personally, all you have to do is go to my website. There are buttons to click that take you exactly where you need to go if you want to get on my calendar. You can even start a live chat on my website, and we can text each other. You can ask me questions. You can start there if you like as well. And that's really it, guys. I hope this was helpful to you. Have a wonderful day. Have an amazing season. That is it. See ya.